Hello everyone. Today we are spotlighting the NAD 7020i, a compact AM/FM stereo receiver amplifier from the early 90s that blends the musical DNA of the legendary NAD 3020 integrated amplifier with a clean digital synth tuner. If you have ever wondered why NAD's modest watt rating punch so far above their weight, this is a perfect example. Conservative specs, smart current delivery, and a design that favors music over gimmicks. NAD, short for New Acoustic Dimension, was founded in 1972 with a music first, high value philosophy. The famous 3020 integrated amplifier proved you didn't need big cosmetics or inflated specs to get real performance. The 7020i inherits that logic but adds a strong radio front end and system flexibility. It's a compact hub that still makes a seriously musical little system in 2025. Front panel walkthrough. Left to right, you get power and a headphone jack, followed by a straightforward input selector for phono, CD, video, auxiliary, and tape monitor. The beautiful red display serves tuner frequency and status at a glance. The right side hosts bass and treble, tone controls, plus balance, and a large, smooth volume control. Nate voiced these tone controls to be musically useful, gentle curves that lift or trim the ends without mangling the mid-range. So the mid-range stays essentially flat at moderate settings, handy for everyday listening. The tuner keys cluster nearby, a band select, memory and preset keys, so you can surf the frequencies quickly. The overall feel is classic. No flash, just the controls you actually use. Rear panel and connectivity. Round back you will find a surprisingly flexible input output layout for a compact receiver. Gold plated phono inputs with a proper ground post, CD, auxiliary, and tape in and out. Pre-out and main-in jacks with external jumpers. Remove them to use it as a standalone preamp or standalone power amp, or to insert an EQ, processor, or high-pass or low-pass crossover speaker terminals, 75 ohm FM antenna jack and AM loop terminals. Two very neat touches, a speaker impedance selector and a soft clipping switch on the rear panel. On paper, it is 20 watts per channel into 8 ohms, both channels driven. The trick is dynamic headroom and current capability. Peak currents reach the mid-teens of amperes, so the amp keeps control of real loudspeakers, where impedance often dips without sounding strained. Two protective features make that usable power musical rather than scary. Soft clipping. When engaged, it rounds the onset of clipping, so overdrive sounds far less harsh, protecting tweeters and ears if you get enthusiastic with the volume. Speaker impedance selector optimizes rail and protection behavior for 4/8 ohm loads so you get maximum usable power without triggering current limit artifacts. Although rated at 20 watts, but it behaves like a much bigger amp in real rooms. Expect tight bass lines, stable imaging, and very little grit as you approach the limits. Phono stage, moving magnet type, and line level path. The phono stage is discrete transistor based circuitry with input sensitivity quiet, enough that you won't hear hiss between tracks, and distortion stays very low. It's exactly the kind of moving magnet phono stage that made NAD 3020 family amps beloved by vinyl listeners. The line inputs are accommodating, roughly 150 millivolts to 10 volts max input to avoid overload with hot tags. An infrasonic filter below 15 Hz with a steep slope keeps record warp and subsonic rubbish out of your woofers. Tone controls that don't trash the mid-range. NAD's tone network is deliberately gentle, roughly plus or minus 10 decibels at 50 Hz for bass and plus or minus 7 decibels at 10 kHz for treble. Use a touch of bass lift for late night sessions or a touch of treble trim on hot masters. Your vocal midband stays intact. Set both to detent if you want the straightest path. FM and AM tuner performance. The FM front end uses a dual gate MOSFET with multi stage AF filtering, which gives a nice blend of sensitivity and selectivity. In practice, with a decent 75 ohm dipole or rooftop aerial, the tuner pulls clean stereo with a solid noise rejection in crowded urban dials. The AM section is integrated, quiet for its class, and very usable with a properly oriented loop. It's great for new stock and late night DX. Inside the box, under the lid, you'll see a linear power supply with ample reservoir capacitance and short signal paths, discrete left and right power amp boards on proper heat sinking, and tidy PCB layout. The pre-out and main-in linkage is literally a pair of removable jumpers, a hallmark of NAD's system builder mindset and a feature that's rare at this size. That's it for a small smart receiver that still delivers big system satisfaction. Let's play some music on it to feel how it sounds like in reality. Please tell me, how do you like the sound produced by this NAD stereo receiver and the CD player? Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.